I'll need to start with one subject, and you probably know what it is.
The currency.
Okay. What's the biggest problem it's causing for you guys? Let's make it straightforward.
Well, I guess first of all, the export. I'm sorry. Okay, and that's natural. That Thai export from Thailand would be affected by the currency. But at the same time, having said that, there is also another side of the coin, which is import. The strength of the baht is also supportive of imports, technology, import, machineries, and so on. So there are both sides of it. But definitely on the export side, as you said, there's an impact there.
Have you seen a lot of evidence of the advantages, though? Things like imports, for example?
Starting to. We are seeing in terms of the supply chain investment for new machineries and so on. And also, I guess, in part due to the relocation of production bases into Thailand, where they would start to invest in machineries and so on. So that is what we are seeing right now.
We were talking during the break that it's primarily the Bank of Thailand that oversees the currency. Now, it doesn't mean that you don't have a role in that as well. While they take primary concern over that, you talked about certain measures that you're prepared to take to stem the currency in case it rises further. What would those measures be?
Well, first of all, the Ministry of Finance consults regularly with the Bank of Thailand.
Correct.
And it's a case that the Bank of Thailand takes the lead role in managing the currency and all that. That's by law. However, having said that, the Bank of Thailand has already come out and said to the effect that the baht has probably risen too fast relative to Thailand's fundamental at the moment. So if that's the case, then I believe that we need to address and probably rebalance that, as the Bank of Thailand has commented. So there are measures, I believe, that we can introduce sort of to rebalance the baht a little bit, as per the Bank of Thailand's view at the moment. What might those be? Potentially, we can stimulate investment, outbound investment from Thailand. That could be one. There could be other measures as well. But I can assure you that nothing that we might consider would interrupt the market mechanism.
Right. A lot of these things, and this is a story that's played out from last year.
Sure.
It's not as if it happened overnight as well. A lot of ifs. If it gets here, we're planning to do this and do that. Do you think we're getting to a point that you might actually need to start doing it?
Well, I guess, again, I'm going back to the Bank of Thailand's role and its view, the latest view. So I think we are in the process of consultation to see what measures that we might ready them for introduction.
The part, I guess, of what is directly under your purview is raising money for the country as well. And you and I were talking about that, both of you and I, we can't remember the last time that Thailand actually issued dollar debt. Is that something that you might consider as well? To diversify, and of course, on the back of a strong currency?
At the moment, we haven't really addressed that possibility yet, although we are not counting out anything. So we will see what we can do, and we would do it within the framework of investment. You know that Thailand has as a top priority, if not the top priority, reform. The reform of our economy, which means we need investments and therefore funding and financing. So in that sense, we are looking at different options for financing mega projects, so on transportation, digital infrastructure, industries.
Since we're talking about, what's the forecast then for your budget deficit for this year?
For this year?
Yeah, what's the working assumption?
It's already reflected in the budget, which has just passed the parliament just a few days ago.
Well, are you confident you're going to hit it?
Yeah, we are confident we're going to hit it, and it's about in the range of 3% budget deficit, which is still in line with what we've been anticipating.
one of the measures, and our bureau chief in Bangkok is asked me to ask you this question as well. A lot of foreign issuers have bought denominated bonds as well. In order for them to take their money out of the country, case-by-case approval, do you think we get to a point where they no longer need case-to-case approval to alleviate the upward pressure on the currency?
We are looking at that, to tell you the truth. We are looking at that. We haven't made any changes at the moment.
Okay. In terms of establishing a yield curve for dollar issuers as well, and just going back to whether or not you might consider one as well. We saw China last year.
Yes.
They tapped the European bond markets. They tapped the dollar bond markets.
Yes.
And you saw that yield curve established for their corporates. Would that alone be a consideration for you?
It could be a consideration by itself, but again, I would point out a key point is that in terms of managing the economy, of course, and the currency itself, it would not be a single measure that we envision.
Correct.
It will be a set of measures.
Is the economy in a better place now than it was 6 months ago?
I believe so. Looking at most recent statistics, for example, in terms of domestic consumption, for the past couple of months, we've been seeing improvements in terms of domestic consumption. Of course, the global situation, we need to keep close watch on that because we are 70% up export oriented.
Correct.
So we have to look at that. But at least there are some positives. The domestic economy is showing better signs of improvement.
Picking up as well. Very quickly, growth forecast for the year in 10 seconds or so for the economy?
In the range of 3%.
Okay, higher threes?
This
or
year,
threes?
about 3.